Hi, Sarah. Hi, Benny. What brings you here today?
Well,
How's he been doing?
He's been doing great. Actually, we're just here for his regular exam, but I do want to mention that about a year ago or so, some of our friends were kind of expressing that they thought he looked too thin, and that bothered us. So we changed foods, and we think that he's done a lot better. He's looking really good today.
Ah, I sure know what that feels like when everyone around you is telling your dog is too thin. It really hurts your heart, doesn't it?
Yeah.
The problem is that our culture is such that the majority of pets in this country are overweight and some are even obese, so that we've lost our sense of what healthy looks and feels like. Can we take a few minutes and go over body condition score?
Sure.
That's something you can learn to do at home once a month, and it's a simple way pet owners can help start to assess their pet's health and body fat. So I put that chart right there, but if you put your hand right here on your leg, and we're going to imagine that the bones in the back of your hand are his ribs. So I'm pressing just this amount, and I ask, I'll have you feel the back of your hand, and if I asked you, could you count those ribs? You have a lovely rib cage right there.
I can count them.
Let's imagine here now, starting at his front leg, going toward his tail, flat fingers, just like over your hand. And I asked, could you count Benny's ribs?
No, I can feel them, but I can't count all
I
of them.
can tell there's a rib cage, but I couldn't count individual ones. So there's 3 spots to check. His rib cage, waistline. So if we look over his top line, the rib cage should be the widest part of his body. And so he should have a nice waistline right here. He needs to be straight and standing. And I can see, looks like he's becoming more of a tube, right? Here's his last rib. There's not a distinct waistline. And then between his hind legs, he should have a nice abdominal tuck. It looks like he's getting a bit of a jelly belly. So if we look at that body condition score right there, and you can take this home so you can read it over and ask if you have any questions. It looks like Benny is about an 8 on this 9-point scale. Have you heard of the Labrador lifespan study?
No.
That groundbreaking research let us know how important it was to maintain the healthy, lean body condition of 4.5 to 5 on that 9-point scale. When we can help pets do that, they can live longer, and it dramatically reduces the onset of arthritis and the progression and severity of painful joints. So if we can get Benny closer to this healthy lean, he'll live a longer, happier, healthier life.
So you're saying that the number that he's at right now, the 8, it's not considered healthy, even though we think he was in good health. He's still doing everything with the kids that we wanted him to.
I know, that's so surprising, right? Because we don't see healthy pets in this 5 out of 9 very often, and when we do, that's what you start to hear, that he's too thin, what's wrong with him? So again, trying to recognize what health looks and feels like, and when he's this heavy, I'm just worried that he will no longer be able to disguise his painful joints anymore.
Buddy, it's okay. So are you saying he's probably going to have to go on a diet?
Well, I think there's some simple things that some simple changes we can make first. You told me you had him on one food and you changed to another, and he started to look better to you, and to me that means a little bit heavier. Is that true? He gained weight?
Well, he did. He liked that other food, but he likes this food too.
Yeah. So people may not realize, it's really common that each company's food or even different products will have different calorie amounts. Hey, Benny.
Yeah, Benny, come here.
I know we're talking about food. That's exciting. That different cups will have different calorie amounts. I looked at the 2 foods, the one you were feeding last year and then the one you've switched to, and you may not realize that, but you increased his calories by almost 200 calories per cup.
Oh.
So that simple change, of course, led to this weight gain. What do you think about going back to that original food?
Well, I think we could. He certainly liked it. So is the food he's eating right now not a healthy food for him?
It's a great food, and it's not the right food for Benny. right? It's led to this unhealthy
calories.
weight gain,
Okay.
right? And if he's like every Labrador I know, I bet he likes food.
Yeah, he does like food.
Right.
Yeah.
So if we switch to a lower calorie food, he'll actually be able to eat a bigger volume than the food he's eating right now.
Okay.
And then, does he enjoy treats?
Yeah, he does like treats.
Tell me what treats he enjoys.
Well, we have several. They're mostly dry and crunchy, and they come in lots of different sizes.
Okay. Well, a rule of thumb is 10%, 5 to 10% of his calories can come from treats, but sometimes some simple changes in the way we feed can also help him on a healthier path. When you're doing training or some exercise, instead do those things before he has his meal. You can take the food that would be his meal and use that as training treats. And so when he's hungry, very often that works just great.
Okay.
So instead you're using from his food dose.
All right.
Still there's going to be treats because what's life without treats? But we want to make sure you go home with a recommendation. So we'll write this out for you. The exact name of the food that you were feeding before. We'll give you an exact amount. And then we'll give an allotment and names of treats that he can enjoy.
All right. That would be good if I had that in writing
Yeah.
to make sure that everybody else
For
in the
sure.
household sticks to whatever the
Right.
allotment is.
Now, I'm hoping these changes are simple. How do you feel about my recommendations?
Well, I think it could work. I don't know about everybody else in the household, but I think for Benny, if we're going back to a food that he liked before, that will be okay. And I heard that he might actually be able to eat a different volume, a little bit more, so he might like that. I don't want to restrict him, and I don't want to cut out his treats, so
Right.
we need to make sure that we find the right balance.
For sure. And just as important, we need the family to realize that they're investing in his health. I'm worried if we can't stop this unhealthy weight gain, he won't be able to disguise painful joints from your family, and he won't be able to go out and enjoy time with you all.
Yeah, we don't want painful joints.
How about this? Let's summarize why we're going to go back to the original diet, and I'll give you specific instructions with an allowance for treats. And then I'd like to schedule before you leave a recheck for 1 month. Let's see how those minor changes have helped, how it feels for the rest of the family. Bring your questions or concerns back to us, but let's most importantly make sure we've arrested unhealthy gain and see if we can get him on the path for better health.
Okay, that sounds reasonable. I think we can try that.
Great, we'll see you in a month.
All right, thanks.